Hey there everyone, how's it going? Tharun here, and in this video we're going to talk about events. So what are events? So events are nothing but they signify the occurrence of something. Alright, so something has occurred on our page, like say the user has clicked on our element, or he has passed over our element, or he has selected our element, so on so on. There are plenty of events out there. I'll show you them, but before that we need to know what events are, and you need to know what event listeners are. So what are these event listeners? Okay, so they are like functions which keep listening. All right, so event listeners are functions which keep listening. For how long? For however long. Okay, the as long as the page is opened, the event listeners are gonna keep listening. And what would happen is, so when a particular event happens, okay, this particular event listener is going to fire, and whatever functionality you have mentioned within that event listener is going to get executed. So that is with event and event listeners. So if you are still unclear, just watch this over once again, or just jump into the example which I am going to show you now to get more clarity. Alright, let's jump into the code. So we have our sticky notes application here. So let's have a button here. Okay, let's say button, and it's gonna be type equals to button, and it's gonna have a on click, okay, which is gonna be an event. Okay, on this on click event. So click is the event. They just append that on when you use it inside HTML tags. Okay, so on click we are gonna fire a function, say button clicked, okay, and call that function and close it and tell click me. Alright, so this is a button, and let's give it a class of btn for it to look good. So let's copy this and paste it here. Okay, save it. The button should have appeared by now. Let's refresh this page, reload. Okay, we have this click me button here, and we have to write this function button clicked. Let's go to the JavaScript code, but before that you have to know how you can link JavaScript files to the HTML file. For that you'll have to write this script tag, and make sure you write it within the body. Okay, you can also write it within the head. Okay, two places. And so here what we're going to do is script, and src equal to, it's going to be the path in which the JavaScript file is, and this is relative path. If you don't know what relative path is, you'll have to mention the path relative to this file. So if it is there within a folder, inside this folder, say within the JavaScript folder of this folder, you would mention JavaScript /myscripts.js. Alright, so make sure you give the right path, otherwise it will not work. So let's go to myscripts.js, and let's write the function, and the function name is button clicked, and within this function what we want to do is alert that the button is clicked. Okay, save it. Let's go to our page and reload our page, and when I hit click on click me, you see that this pop-up comes up, the alert shows up that the button is clicked. Alright, so this is one way in which you can mention the events. Okay, you can mention it within the HTML tag itself, on click, on select, so on, whatever the event listeners are there out there. But this is not the recommended way. Okay, the recommended way is to use add event listener, or to use event listeners. Alright, so let us look at how we can do that. So since we have linked our myscripts.js to our HTML page, we can write the code here itself instead of writing on the the so-called console which we have on the Chrome. So what I'll do now is I'll do let. Okay, so let event listener, or even without declaring it. Okay, let's just tell document dot, okay, get element by id, and give the button a unique id. Say let's give id equals to test. Okay, so let's grab the button by test. Alright, dot add event listener. Okay, and here you'll have to mention what event you want. So it will be like click or select or so on. Okay, and it won't be on click. That on click, on select and all will come only within the HTML tags. Here you have to mention it just as an event. So add event listener click, and the second argument here will be the function which you want to execute. So here you can directly write a function like an anonymous function. You can write it here, or okay, let's try both. Okay, so let's write the same thing here, save. Okay, and now we'll remove that on click. See, the on click has been removed. Alright, so let's remove this also, and let's go to our website and reload for a button to appear. And once I hit click me, it again shows that alert button. Okay, but this time it's with event listeners. So as I told you, what I'm going to show is, let's take this function off and write a separate function and give it a name called, say, button clicked, and let's copy that and paste it in here. Make sure you don't use round brackets here to call it, just use button clicked, and then refresh the page, and when I click on click me, it again shows up. So this is the way you use events. Actually, this is a very efficient way of using events. So you just mention the event to the event listener and actually append it with this element whichever you want to listen to, and you mention the function which has to be called. So there's the function, and you can mention the functionality which has to go within this. So now, as I promised you, I'm going to show you different events which are available in JavaScript. So if I go to this website, okay, W3 schools and this DOM object event, I'll make sure I deliver you the link to this. Okay, you can find it in the resources. So here you can see a lot of events: abort, after print, blur, okay, change, click, okay, double click, okay, then you have drag, drop, focus, so many events. Okay, like mouse down, mouse enter, mouse leave, and similarly you'll have key down, key up also. Okay, so you have so many events here. So these are the events which you can use. Okay, and you can attach a function and do a specific functionality when this event occurs, and the way you do that will remain the same. The syntax is the same, only this part will change. So it's time for you to play with events. Okay, so make sure you build something small using this event, something funny or something interesting, and share with us. I would definitely love to look at what you come up with. So that is all for this video, and we saw about event listeners, event, and how you can add this add event listener to an element. So in the next video we'll be looking at how you can pass event parameter. Okay, it is quite important one, especially when you deal with forms. So see you guys there.